Welcome back to Groove Theory Project, your
Hello.
favorite podcast for music lovers.
We back.
I'm your host, Neijah.
And I'm your host. Sorry.
You're also their host.
I'm your host, Arniesha.
And yes, this is episode 4. Yeah,
Yes.
episode 4. So if you've been rocking with us this far, thank you. If this is your first time,
Welcome.
We're happy you're here. Today, before we get into what we're talking about today, how are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel energized. Just had a little matcha. Yeah, feeling good.
Nice.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, feeling really chill. It's springtime, so I feel like it's like a chill energy.
Yeah. Hopefully the weather kind of changes. I feel like we had a wet day the other day.
Yeah.
It was pretty rainy, but hopefully we get that springtime weather.
Yeah. Well, spring is like, showers and sun.
I want more
both.
sun
It's a
than
mix.
showers.
It's a mix. It's variety. You want more showers and sun?
No, I want more sun than showers.
Yeah, more sun. You're a born and raised LA girl.
Yeah.
It never rains.
I want some
in
LA.
Southern California.
Except for
It's a lie.
yesterday.
Yeah,
I definitely did.
It's a lie. I'm feeling good. Yes, I said that already.
Has anything been on your mind as of late?
Yes.
You know what I meant to tell you?
What?
I went to go see the Alice Coltrane exhibit at the Hammer.
Oh, how'd you like it?
It was so good.
It's really, really
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
It was really cool.
And they have so many like rooms where you can see.
yeah, the different films.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice variety of what they showcased
Nice.
with the film and like what are they called? The snapshots of the photo shoots that they did.
I don't know.
What are
Is it
those
just like
called?
archives?
Well, yeah, they had archival photos, but they also had like the what are they called?
Like the film?
The film like negatives where you
Oh,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
like I forgot the official name for it. but-
Negatives, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice to see like those too.
Yeah. And my favorite part was the wall with all of her albums.
Yeah.
And you can like pick up headphones and
In
tune
like
into
order,
different ones. Yeah.
chronological order.
That was really cool.
Yeah,
That was
she
beautiful.
lived such an interesting life.
Yeah.
It's cool to kind of.
I didn't know
that.
everything about her before
Yeah,
I
I
went
didn't know
there.
that either.
Yeah, go check it out if it's still around Alice Coltrane at the Hammer
you might
Museum.
have like just a week to check it out because I feel like
Yeah.
they're closing soon. But it was really cool, really interesting.
So it's been on my mind. We talked about during the first episode
What,
my favorite rapper.
girl?
And I was like, why did I say it like that? What I wanted to say
we
was that
backpedaling? We
I'm not
backpedaling?
backpedaling. Yeah, I guess, officially the
We're
definition
officially
of a backpedal.
redacting.
What I wanted to say was I grew up loving him.
Yeah.
And so that's who I always considered my favorite rapper. I don't.
You do not
Support
condone
anything
or
else.
support. I feel like
And actually it's really upsetting.
yeah, it's hard when the artist that you love like isn't necessarily the human that you want them to be.
Yeah.
And it's also hard when they go past a certain level where you can't really separate the two.
Yeah. And it happens a lot, especially
Yeah.
we have so much access to people now.
Yeah.
All you got to do is turn on your phone and show the world how crazy you want to be.
Somebody
But-
needs to take his phone, honestly.
I think it's impossible. It's too many Apple stores around the world.
Yeah. God rest his, not rest his soul.
Yeah,
but
no, not
please
that.
don't rest his soul, but
God save his
touch
soul.
him.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
He definitely needs help.
Yeah.
And that's very apparent. But there's also some accountability
Absolutely.
needed as well.
Absolutely. So I don't know who my favorite rapper is. There's a lot of rappers that I love, but I'm putting that on ice right now.
Redacted officially.
Redacted. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Keeps me up at night.
Yeah. I do love the old Kanye music. I can't deny that, but
What do you consider old? I feel like people say that a lot. And I feel like we was rocking with him for a long time, the general public.
I feel like anything was it Life of Pablo?
That's not that old. Is it that old? I guess
How
it's
many
like
albums
almost
does he
10
have
years ago.
after Life of Pablo? I feel like there was like 3 or
I think
4.
I went all the way up to the joint album with Kid Cudi, Kids See Ghosts.
Okay.
I didn't really listen to Ye. I think that was right before, but Kids See Ghosts was like my last one. And I don't really know.
Yeah.
I think Donda is after.
Okay. I
I
do
don't know.
like,
And like Sunday Service and
yeah,
stuff.
the Sunday service, the gospel album
Yeah.
I listened to that. It was good.
But yeah. Moving on. Today.
Well, let's get into,
I'm gonna take these glasses off because they're not helping me see.
yeah, I'm really excited about today's topic.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think we're leaning into some cool stuff.
We're gonna be talking about BPM.
BPM.
Beats per minute. We said that in unison.
We did. Beats per minute. And if you guys aren't familiar with that, it is just how many beats occur in 1 minute of music. And it kind of is the measure that's used for producers and DJs, for tempo and beats and
Like setting the pace of
Yeah.
a song.
yeah.
So a 60 BPM would mean that there are 60 beats in 1 minute, which is like a beat
Per second.
per second.
Yeah.
Pretty slow. And whereas 120 is a beat
Double time.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
Pretty fast.
beats, yeah.
Yeah. I saw this video, this clip of Mac Miller in the studio, and he was like, somebody was playing a beat for him. They were like, "What's the BPM?" And he just like clapped, and then he's yelled out the BPM.
Some people are really good with like,
I'm not there.
yeah, some people are really good with just kind of like earshotting BPM.
Yeah.
A lot of our DJ friends are able to do that. I think it's like a cool exercise when like you're out and, you know, socializing. I have a BPM app on my phone that you just like tap to the beat and after a few seconds, it'll be able to read what
Oh, that's
BPM
cool.
you are. But I can't just listen.
I can't do that
and
right
know.
now. No.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the time signature, not the BPM.
Maybe I can guess like a range, like if it's upper,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like 80s, 90s to 121, but I'm not as exact with
Yeah.
my guessing.
So like the 60s to the 80s is more like relaxed, mellow, chill.
I think that's also the range of like just your heart rate, the human average heart rate.
Have you ever been to Orange Theory?
No, but
The
I know
workout
what it
place?
is. Yeah.
I used to go there and they have you put a heart rate monitor on
Oh, really?
and you can see everybody's heart rate on this big old TV screen in the class.
Oh, wow.
And they have like colors of like where they want you to be.
For
It's
each,
intense.
like
For each part of the
Segment,
work. Like
yeah.
if you're running
or circuit.
they want you to be like on the higher
Between,
end,
yeah.
and you'll be orange. And then if you're like below it, you'll be gray,
Okay.
and everybody can see it.
That's interesting for everyone to see. Because I feel like when I work out with my Apple Watch, of course you see that.
Yeah, but no,
to
like
be
it's on
display,
a TV. Yeah, I don't know why I did that, but yeah. I was in shape. probably
Yeah.
stressed
I guess it is
out too.
motivating when you see people kind of doing their thing.
Yeah.
And you want to surpass them.
So like more relaxed, chill.
Yeah.
Heart rate is like around that.
Yeah. Like 70 to 75.
Yeah. And then 100 to 120 is more of like your alert, groovy. Still, I feel like the lower
think
end
it's
is groovy
like-
too, but you're
Yeah.
like, you're moving.
Like cardio.
Yeah.
Light cardio. Having a brisk walk
That's like kind of my favorite range.
of
for
music. Or
I
yeah.
love the slower too, but like when I'm out or when I'm DJing, we'll get more into that, but I like that range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to build, but I think the heart of my set is probably like between 100 and 120 for sure.
And then the 130 and above is like hard
Yeah.
core dancing.
Lots of energy.
Yeah.
High energy. Yeah. Fist bumping.
or trap, like rap and hip hop stuff
Right.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then going into genres, Do you want to do this part?
Yeah, I feel like starting with hip hop, it's like a large bracket, 70 to 100 ish, but it can also extend beyond that.
Yeah.
I feel like hip hop generally is more like laid back and bouncy and kind of, kind of in the pocket where you get the head nod and more of like a pocket feel.
Yeah.
Leaves room for you to listen to what they're saying.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the current hip hop, like in America, is more of the high 130, like the trap sound. Like,
Yeah. The later
whereas
stuff.
like a J Dilla is like the lower end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with like 90s hip hop, West Coast hip hop. I feel like is
And R&B too.
is a lot small, like a lot
slower. Yeah. Smaller.
I'm jumbling my words today.
It's okay.
Yeah,
We get you. We got it.
I feel like West Coast hip hop is a lot slower than some of the other stuff from other regions. When you get into 90s West Coast hip hop, like the G funk, and like the
because it's all about that bass and that that groove.
And they sample a lot of music too, and I feel like the older stuff that they sample had a slower tempo.
Yeah, we were talking about R&B too, like older R&B having more of that swing.
Yeah,
and we were talking about this Teacher Moses clip where she was saying like
the difference between
like now and before. Where she's like, it's all about the long note. Like we like to hold the long note in the past, and people can sing along. People want to sing along to it. Whereas now everyone's like singing super fast.
Right,
and it's like a rhythmic thing.
Yeah, and I feel like the lower BPM allows for that space for people to fill that space with
let the vocals breathe.
Yeah.
So R&B is like typically 60 to 90.
Yes,
for sure. Yeah.
Yep. Definitely allows room for the vocals to breathe. What are some of your favorite R&B songs?
I mean, I wrote down a few that like just for examples. For R&B, I wrote down Janet Jackson's "I Get So Lonely" is 69.
Oh,
so that has like a groove
like
and you're still moving to it, but it's very slow. Yeah, that's why we'll talk about it with the DJing thing. I always struggle because a lot of songs that I love are very, very low.
Yeah.
And then a lot of songs I love are like above 100. So I'm like, how are we going to jump?
Right.
How are we going to get here?
It's like it's really a sonic journey that you need to take.
And then for hip hop, just going back to that, So Far to Go by Common, produced by J Dilla, that's 90. And then like March Madness by Future is 120.
Yeah. I like for examples of the West Coast style that we were speaking of, like the G Funk, like the Dr. Dre's and the Snoop Dogg, and that whole era. They're usually in the 90 range as well.
90 is a sweet spot.
I think so too.
Because it's that bridge between those slower songs and your like more hard, fast, party songs.
Yeah. I feel like 90, I think I read somewhere that it said the most popular songs, and I think it's just popularity versus like chart toppers, are in between the 90 and 100 range, or 90, 99 range.
Yeah.
But it was also saying the songs that chart on Billboard most often are usually in the 120 pocket. So I guess it's a difference between popularity and what's considered a hit.
Yeah. I also think there's something to note about like the way the different BPMs make you feel, like we were talking about before. I like being relaxed. I guess, I don't know. I thought everybody liked to be relaxed, but people like to have that energy. It's like a like caffeine almost.
Yeah. Especially when I'm thinking of like DJ sets, I like to move through, like take people on a journey.
Yeah.
So there are times, especially, times of the night where you want to be in a more relaxed or, I guess, low energy space to leave room for socializing and like people warming up, you know, getting a drink and doing all those things. And then towards, the middle of or the height of the night, that's when you get into the high energy stuff.
Yeah. But even thinking about like chart topping songs, like you're saying, those are not, it's not just in the club that's making it, or maybe
You're
it is, that's making it a success. Like people are listening to it at home. People are listening to it in the car, on their workouts and stuff. So it's just interesting. It's a little interesting to see that like people love the faster songs so much.
Yeah.
Cause I like faster songs. I get it, but there's so many beautiful slower songs.
Yeah. It also depends on like your purpose of listening. Like when I'm building my workout playlist, like I definitely want some upbeat, high energy songs. But if I'm building like a work from home playlist or a do chores around the house playlist, like I want a more relaxed, like groovy feel.
I think there's like something kind of like, I don't want to say insidious, but something powerful about stimulus. And I think maybe the faster songs are like more stimulating. Even like with like, obviously we know I have a kid. Children love like high pitched sounding stuff and like that overstimulating kind of stuff. Like if you listen to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, that music is insane. It's like a million horns, a million high pitched. Mickey Mouse's voice is so high. And it's like super fast. And I'm like, why are you interested in this?
To burn that energy that they have.
But I think there's something about like that high stimulus stuff that like gets you hooked in and you can't really like turn away from it, or helps you like,
it's like
it helps you kind of turn everything else off and then you're into that.
Yeah.
Like in a trance.
Yeah. I can see that, especially with Miss Rachel. Cause those kids be like,
but even like faster songs for adults too. Like it kind of helps us like block out things where I feel like a slower song maybe helps you be more
in tune.
Yeah.
I never really thought of that, but
we're overstimulating ourselves.
When we're out, I can see that.
That's
as a distraction.
That's the end of my thesis. I do think it's like getting through the work day and all that kind of stuff. You want something that's going to keep you alert and up, and workouts. We don't want to. I was telling our friend, I was like, I wish I could have an any for my workout. Like
I know. Okay, I watched the first season of Severance, so I'm
glad you made it through the first season.
I haven't finished the first season.
Okay.
But
I'll take it back.
I know about the any Audi references, but I'm just not too deep into Severance to know all the references.
We'll give you time.
But that would be very efficient to have.
But putting on a great playlist is kind of like shutting off part of your brain, so you're not thinking about it so much, or like it's not as painful. Painful. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I went on a tangent there.
I guess we can briefly talk about just the house genre.
House is like 120 to 130.
Yeah, but like you said, I think it stimulates people to groove, to dance, to disco and boogie.
I feel like house is in a really good pocket because it's fast, but there's still room for instruments to kind of ground it. Yeah. Especially with like think of like Kate Tronada, or think of like the like 90s house. Yeah. It's still very soulful, but it's still like that upbeat.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not a huge EDM person.
Neither
but EDM
am I.
is way faster, and I feel like it's less of that like bottom to it.
Yeah. Same with like the drum bass electronic. I feel like it's heavy. I feel like with the house and the soulful house that we probably listen to, there's less like percussion. I mean, the percussion is not necessarily like drums or like,
It's not driving it so much.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's more so like supporting it and not really like the soul factor
Yeah.
of it with the,
Yeah, there's like
Drum bass, I feel
chords
like.
and bass and all sorts of things around it. Yeah.
yeah. But the EDM and the drum music, I feel like is very much,
Yeah.
that is the,
I was looking at like what
focus.
songs I have that are around like 160. And there's like a lot of rock songs too that can be in that range. And I thought, I was like, oh, why didn't I think of this before? That makes sense, you know?
yeah.
Because it is very, very drum heavy a lot of the time. That song, there was a song by Willow on her last album, which is mostly jazz, but this is like more of a rock song. It's called Symptom of Life.
Okay.
And there's like a section, it's 160, but I think I was telling you, like, there's a part that feels like it's more of an 80,
Yeah.
like the bridge, and then it switches back to 160,
Yeah.
the double time on the hook.
Yeah. I feel like the higher BPM songs do that a lot where they switch back and forth.
Got to give us a break.
Yeah. And it's hard to catch too because I don't know, my brain doesn't always focus on if it's like a slower beat or double time.
Yeah.
But
I like it though. It like gives me the same feeling of like when you have like a slight, or you have like a progression or a key change in certain songs, like that switch up is pretty nice most times.
I like when it comes to like blending music in a set, I like blending the double time BPM.
Have you ever been DJing and it's like a song that you maybe didn't realize it was about to change?
What do you mean?
Like
Me DJing or me like listening to a set?
DJing. I've been DJing and I'm like, oh, I know this song, or I thought I knew this song. And this is showing I didn't do my homework, but I thought I knew this song and oh shit, it changed to like halftime.
Oh, yeah.
And now I got to go a different direction.
With your next song that you're trying to blend. Yeah. I try to put markers in those type of tracks that like switch up.
Yeah, I should have.
So I know like you need to blend and like have your transition ready before this
moment, or be prepared.
Right. Yeah. I try to do that with songs that I know are a little tricky with that.
That's happened to me before, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna let this rock
Echo
for a little
out.
bit. Echo out.
Echo out. Yeah.
I heard the echo when you said echo out.
Yeah. Get creative with it. But I guess going into our use of BPM as DJs, because you moonlight as a DJ too.
Moonlight.
Yeah. Every now and then.
Moonlight.
We got her out of retirement for a little bit. And she started doing sets again. But
I think I like to, or at least for now, I love to be around like lots of ladies playing for ladies, or just like a really artsy crowd.
yeah.
Because I don't want to do the club thing. I don't want someone asking me. I had someone ask me before, play something I can twerk to, and I was playing Benz by Solange. I'm like, you can't twerk to this? I don't respect you. Leave me alone, lady.
I'm not really into the club scene. I do like a more relaxed and laid back lounge or dinner, grown and sexy vibe when it comes to playing DJ sets. Because I like to play what I like to play, the type of music that I want to hear out.
Yeah.
I don't like taking requests.
I want to get as weird as I can get.
Yeah.
But still fun and still make you want to dance.
Yeah.
And people who don't want to hear something that they don't know, I don't want you there.
Yeah.
I don't want you there.
Be open-minded. Like, trust me as the vibe curator to take you on a journey that you didn't know that you needed. And just vibe. Come along for the ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have fun doing like a top 40 set.
I mean, I throw in some top 40 songs.
No, I mean
that
like a strictly top 40 set.
Oh.
I'm always going to throw in top 40 songs. But yeah,
just always popular. Yeah. I definitely have to throw in some B-sides, some stuff you probably heard before, but
some you forgot about, but didn't know you needed again.
Yeah. That's usually my style of DJing. I weave in a lot of records that you didn't know that you wanted to hear in a club.
Yeah.
Or out. A lot of R&B, 90s R&B. I also love like throwing in some stuff that I know that people probably have not heard before.
Yeah.
A lot of new edits that I find on SoundCloud. I also love building too, like we spoke about earlier, where at the beginning of my sets, I'm usually at like a lower BPM, like the 79, going to the 80s, the pockets like the 90s to 110, 113.
Yeah.
And then end out on 125.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good progression.
I would do that a lot. And then more recently, I've been having more fun in the 100 to 120. So I'm like, how can I still get that groovy beginning without starting as low?
Yeah.
And spend more time in the 120.
Yeah.
Or 1 to 120.
It could also depend on where your set falls in the lineup too.
It definitely depends on that.
You can start with 110.
And you don't want to be at the beginning starting.
Yeah. Right.
Turning it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also depends on the event too.
Yeah.
The crowd. It could be the 9 p.m. set, turning stuff up.
Have you ever done an Afrobeats set?
Not a full Afrobeat set, but if I know it's like a summertime event, day party event, like I'll definitely throw some Afrobeats in there.
Yeah. I feel like you would kill it at an Afrobeats party. I want that this summer. Book Arniesha.
Book me.
Book her. Not me. Book her.
Book her too. She be trying to be shy with the DJ stuff.
Because sometimes, like, at our thing, I was like, I'm fighting for my life.
What?
That was at our party. I told the other DJ, I was like, I'm fighting for my life.
What? No.
Because I just like, I think that was my first set after like almost 2 years.
Did you do that set before our launch party or after?
At our launch party is what I'm talking about.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the
other one. I was like, I got all my scaries out at the launch party, but I was just getting so nervous in between all the transitions. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so bad.
No.
And it was more of
like
a mental
riding a
thing.
bike.
Yeah.
Like once you get into the groove, like you don't forget how to DJ.
Yeah.
You've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah.
What should we get into next? BPM on the charts. What makes a hit? Radio versus TikTok versus nightlife, social events.
So I saw this clip of a radio DJ Head, talking about like what makes a radio hit or like what BPM typically they play. And he said 93 is like the best BPM if you're trying to get a song on the radio.
Yeah.
And then so I went and looked up in my Serato what songs are 93. And my favorite one that I saw was Rock the Boat by Aaliyah.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
a classic.
Yeah, it's a classic. And there's like a 50 Cent song and like some other stuff. But I'm like, oh, this makes so much sense because it feels like it's still grounded. It still has that like swing to it and room to breathe, but it still gets you dancing.
Yeah. But also
like,
when you
it's
think
like
of,
good for any occasion, any time of day, you know?
Yeah. But when you think of like classic radio hits, like when you typically listen to the radio, you're driving or, you know, you might be at the office or you might be doing something at home to turn on the radio. Now we have playlists. Yeah. So that feel, it being still grounded, but upbeat and like motivating, like makes sense to be in the pocket. Yeah.
That was I'm like, oh, I want to go make 1,093 BPM songs now. Stay tuned.
Yeah. I feel like a good pocket is 90 between 99. When it comes to when I look at, or think of songs.
Because when you're really far on either side of the spectrum, I think you risk isolating the people that love a faster song, or the people that love a slower song. Right. In the middle is just, you can get everybody.
Both worlds.
And I notice a lot on TikTok that they do like their version of their song sped up, like pitched up, or and sped up,
slowed down. Like chopped and screwed.
I like that. I haven't seen that as much, but I like that.
Yeah, I always wondered, like, what's the formula for TikTok when it comes to what makes it viral?
I'm wondering if there's like people are just doing it and like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, or if there's like a more of a strategy behind.
It's probably a combination
songs for that.
It's probably a combination of strategy, but also influence and who actually starts the trend or does a dance to it, or does whatever. I mean, it's more than dances
easier
now.
to dance to the 90s and up than the 60s somethings.
Right. But TikTok dance is a little different from actual dancing.
I call it cheerleading.
It's a little different. It does remind me of cheerleading. Yeah, the little.
It's like on a arm
when I think back to high school, I was a cheerleader in high school. That's funny. It is more similar to cheerleading, cheer routines.
Ready? Okay.
Then with the facial expressions too. Because they're always animated.
And because you're trying to stay in this frame of this little phone.
Yeah.
And in cheer, you're trying to stay in your like spot.
Right. That's funny that you make that association. Yeah. That's hilarious.
So all y'all out there doing TikTok dances, y'all are on Bring It On 5.
I think there's already a 5. There are so many 7 sequels to that movie. But yeah, I always wondered, and it's always funny to come across like the full song that you've seen a snippet on TikTok. And I didn't like make the connection. I'm like, oh, like this is the little part that they used on TikTok that I've been seeing all the time, but haven't really seen or heard the full song.
Yeah. I was just looking at my notes and we wrote down Kill Bill by SZA as like an example.
Yeah.
Of a successful song.
Yeah.
And it's 89.
89 BPM.
And I just wanted to say, SOS is an amazing album. I love Kill Bill. But my girl Control.
Yeah.
That had that like more of that swing, that like old hip hop swing. And it was probably a lot of lower BPMs. And SOS did like so many, broke so many records on the charts and stuff like that. And I feel like maybe now that I'm thinking.
Control with SOS?
Yeah.
Control is like a classic to me.
This is what I'm trying to say.
So well.
I feel like it didn't break as many records because it's maybe slower. A lot of it's slower.
Oh.
But I love Control.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite albums ever.
Yeah. That is my favorite album of SZA.
Yeah.
Also, I love
SOS is amazing, but it has like more fast BPMs on it for the most part. And Control is more of that like swing.
Yeah.
I hear Go Gina in my head right now.
But yeah, BPM probably has something to do with it when it comes to.
But I really do enjoy this. Like in that example, I enjoy the slower, like a lot.
Yeah,
because the lyrics and the vocals.
What goes into it being a chart? Is it like how many times it's played and like
I think
how many times
right now mostly streams.
Okay.
Because people don't buy albums as much, but I think it's mostly streams. I think that was streamed a lot more.
Yeah.
And I think it did better on radio because she had like multiple singles on that album.
There's also a lot of edits from SOS. Yeah.
Oh,
that I see on TikTok.
What's the most popular one? Like, I can't remember right now.
From SOS, there's a bunch.
I did play Shirt so much before SOS even dropped. You know that one?
What's that one?
Blood stains on my shirt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's one that I always play. My mind is blank right now. I can't.
I do really like SOS, but I always go back to Control.
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, all in all. All in all.
Wait, I have a question.
What's up?
If you were to produce a song, which you will do one day soon.
Perhaps, maybe.
Perhaps, yes. If you were to produce a song, what BPM do you think you would start with?
I think my first song might be 120. I think that's like
You would go higher.
a safe bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, because we're thinking about DJing a lot, and I was thinking about like composing a song. A lot of the times when I'm creating a song, I wouldn't call myself a producer first, but if I am like creating something, it's usually on piano, and I'll like play the chords and then try to figure out what BPM is this later. Once I like put it into an actual software.
Yeah.
And then once I say we, because I usually work with other people to add more instruments. Once we start adding more instruments, we usually adjust it to see whatever feels right.
Okay. That makes sense, though.
Yeah.
You kind of build out the body of it, the melody of it, and then the beat kind of be more supportive.
Yeah. But I've seen like a lot of people who are like producers just start with the click first, like choosing a BPM first
Really?
and then building from there.
I can see that too, actually. Because if you know what type of song you want to make, like if you want
Yeah.
it to be a club banger, or if you want it to be more of a high energy song, then you can put those parameters of BPM before.
I'm going to get you to make a
Building
song
it out.
soon.
Stop. What?
Soon.
Girl.
Yes. It's happening.
I have some songs in the archive.
Ooh. Why you
I have-
acting like
I have
why
a
you acting like
song.
it's so far-fetched then?
I don't know. I just never...
You got to play them for me.
I don't even have that hard drive. We burned that hard drive.
Now we don't have the hard drive.
We did. We burnt the hard drive.
It's okay. We'll make new songs.
I'm open to it though.
I think you
my
have fun.
creative exploration bag right now. So
I think you would have
say I'm
fun. I
opposed
think
to
you would
it.
have good ideas. Yeah. I think you would like it actually.
yeah, I'm open to the exercise of it.
The
No pressure.
exercise.
Yeah, it just being. That's how I like step into things. It's like
You're gonna make
even
it? You're gonna be like making it
It's like
and-
it's a hobby. I'm trying it out. I'm dipping my toes in.
You're going to make it and then it's going to be like done. We're going to be listening to it. And then like in the background, I was already making art for it. And then I'm like, oh, it's out. It's up. It's
Stop.
up. It's up on Spotify right now.
No, I don't think I'll publish.
I posted it.
No.
No, I'm joking. I wouldn't do that. But yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely open to exploring.
Cool. Well, yeah, that is our spiel
Yeah, on BPM,
on beats per minute.
beat per minute.
Not the same as time signatures, which is also in the obviously realm of time.
Right.
But maybe we'll talk about those one day as well.
Yeah.
But before we go, we got to do Let Me Put You On.
Get into Let Me Put You On.
Yes. Do you want to go first?
Yes. Let Me Put You On. This is the segment where we tell you guys about artists that we've either recently discovered or just have been living rent-free in our heads lately. So you guys can check them out if you don't already know them. But yeah, artists that or things or
Yeah.
places or other creative works that we just want to share with you guys. So this song is called This Body by this artist from Amsterdam. Her name is JELISA. Her style is pretty interesting. She blends like a jazzy feel, like alternative R&B. Yeah, she has.
think I've heard
she's
of her.
kind of in her own lane, but that song came up on my Spotify playlists. And yeah, it's all of her songs that I've heard are like kind of experimental. But I really like that one, so check it out.
Nice. Mine is from that side of the world as well. I think the same. I'm not a geography person, so don't expect me to know the details. But I think the same area.
Okay.
They're from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's called And One by a jazz band called Athletic Progression. Mm-hmm. And the song is like a little over 1 minute, but it's amazing. And I actually, through finding that song, I watched one of their like performances that they had on YouTube, and they were just chef's kiss whole
Nice.
time. But I love the name of their band, Athletic Progression, as a jazz band, because playing jazz is a very athletic thing to do. It can be very fast and very
I also
physically
feel like
intense.
The and one is like a basketball reference.
Yeah, it is a basketball reference. But that song is really nice.
Yeah. Okay. Got to check those out. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up this episode.
It does. Thank you guys for making it this far.
Yes. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Please give us some feedback, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts on BPM, if that influences you or dictates types of music that you play at different times. And yeah, stay tuned for the next one.
Stay tuned. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.